Good day, everyone, and welcome to the grand opening of the new headquarters for SOSV's HAX, the world's first and most active program for pre-seed hard tech startups. We are very proud to be here in the great city of Newark and the great state of New Jersey. My name is Naomi Stevens. I'm the program coordinator at HAX. I am also a proud Newark native, born and raised. And still a resident, I must add. I would like to welcome all of you here today, and I would like to recognize that joining us for this great occasion is the Governor of New Jersey, the Honorable Phil Murphy. And the Mayor of Newark, the Honorable Ras Baraka. We are also very happy to have Tim Sullivan, the CEO of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Now, I would like to call to the stage Duncan Turner, who is the Managing Director for HAX and also General Partner at SOSV, the venture firm behind HAX. Please welcome Duncan.
Thanks, Naomi. And a special thanks to Governor Murphy, to Mayor Baraka, and to everyone from the NJEDA, but especially Tim and Kathleen. You all really made this happen. It's incredible. Thanks for welcoming us to New Jersey, and more importantly, to Newark. News broke that we were going to be relocating our global headquarters to Newark back in September of 2021. It was a big moment for us, and part of a much longer history of HAX, which has been 12 years in the making. I was actually there on the very first HAX as a mentor 12 years ago to share some of my experiences as a hardware founder of quite how difficult it had been to launch a hardware product without the type of support that we offer here. It was really tough. HAX's vision from the start has been to help founders make the impossible inevitable. SOSV's strength is in finding ecosystems that we can leverage to help make that happen. We've shown that in San Francisco, in Shenzhen, and in Tokyo. These are all areas where there are unique capabilities to really accelerate hardware and the next technologies that will define our future. We've always invested in founders that are addressing problems or opportunities in the US market. In 2018, we saw that our industrial investments were starting to change from productivity to addressing one of the biggest problems in the world, which is climate change. As we started to invest more in these companies, they started to expand in size and scale from what we used to be able to fit into a shoebox to something we could no longer fit into a container. At that time, we realized we needed a presence in the US to serve the founders that we were investing in. Then in 2020, something else happened, COVID. That was fun, wasn't it? That showed us the fragility of our supply chains and how the US needed to reindustrialize. So there were two things happening at that time. There was a fight against climate change, and there was the need to create all of these new technologies within our borders or in our friends' borders. There's been a historic investment in making this happen, somewhat echoing the investment in the shale industry, which was all about energy independence, except for these days we're not investing in pumping oil out of the ground. We're investing in new technologies that are going to completely rewire, both physically, figuratively, and literally, the US industrial landscape, from electrification to reshoring manufacturing. So we're now investing in companies that are not just hardware, but also chemistry. In order to do that, we had to recruit some world-class talent. Very excited to have a Chief Science Officer, who is a PhD in chemistry, Susan. And Andy thought he was going to get away from this, but he runs the investment side and is, by background, a chemical engineer, although he doesn't like to admit it. Who have been helping both V&G, our Chief Technical Officer, who have been here a long time in accelerating these new types of technologies. But more importantly, it was about finding an ecosystem birthplace for the reindustrialization of the US. A place we could find world-class talent, close to some of the largest industries in the world, and land to expand with an industrial heritage and an infrastructure that can support a lot of the companies that we're investing in to help them get to their next phase. Newark really has all of this. It's got industrial heritage. It's got truly exceptional universities, which are literally a stone's throw away from us. Academic departments that are developing not just IP, but also talent that will shape the world for generations to come. We're a train ride from two of the most important destinations for venture capital for hard tech companies. That's Boston and New York. This really is a truly unique place to build something like this. And so here we are at start, 35,000 square foot space with mechanical labs, electronics labs, and chemistry labs, everything we need to fuel the development of startups. Bold as a start, but tiny in comparison to the potential here. We've got over 25 teams working to change the world, everything from equitable access to healthcare to redefining manufacturing. Those teams have already raised $50 million on top of the $15 million that we've invested, and we're just starting. Plenty more to come. Many of these teams have decided to base themselves in New Jersey, like Solana, one of our companies actually from Austria, who developed a technology to take apparel manufacturing back from Southeast Asia, decided to stay here as most of their customers actually in Newark. HAX has also built an awesome team. I'm not going to name everyone. There's 10 of us here, and it goes beyond that to 25 in the global ecosystem. It's 24/7 support on design engineering, mechatronics, and chemistry. It's truly an incredible system that no one else offers. And we expect that many of the founders that we've invested in will see some of the advantages we have in staying in New Jersey, basing their businesses here and bringing thousands of jobs to the Garden State. I want to thank you all for joining us. Thanks again to the VIPs here for making this happen. And we look forward to building a successful future. Thank you.
Thank you, Duncan. As everyone can now see, incredible startups are already hard at work here alongside our dedicated HAX staff. Now, I have the great pleasure to invite Governor Murphy to come to the stage. Thank you for joining us, Governor.
Thank you, Naomi, a proud resident of the Brick City. Duncan, thanks to you and your colleagues. I'm not sure what happened to Duncan. There he is. And in absentia, Sean O'Sullivan, who I'll come back to in a moment. Most importantly, Mayor Raz J. Baraka. Mayor, God bless you. Another big day for Newark. Tim and Kathleen have already been acknowledged. I also want to acknowledge Eric Brophy on our team and Wes Matthews, who is the CEO of Choose New Jersey. Senate Majority Leader Teresa Ruiz, Senator, always an honor. Chairwoman Ileana Pinto-Marin from the Assembly, to the other officials here, Tech Lim from NJIT, its president, incredibly honored to be here today. I want to dispel a couple of myths about what I'm dressed in this morning. In the elevator on the way up, we discussed this. I was advised to take credit that I was dressed accelerator cool. I wish that were the case. Secondly, I've already apologized to the mayor that I was dressed down, but he pointed out he's wearing his special kicks as well today. And thirdly, there is no truth to the rumor that I wore this way in these shoes because I had taken our dog to a gravel pit. Making sure you're paying attention out there. The most important thing I want to say, and Sean wanted to be here today and could not, Sean and Duncan and colleagues could have planted the HAX flag literally anywhere in the world, and they chose Newark, New Jersey. I think it is among, if not the most significant win that we have had in my time in office, and Mayor, I suspect yours as well. This is a huge, huge deal. Now, New Jersey, even in the dark days of irresponsible fiscal management and other challenges over the years, we held our, Phil Elijah is with us. Phil, I didn't see you, buddy. Chief of Staff of the County Executive here. We held our own with big companies, the Johnson & Johnsons, Prudentials, Mercks, et.cetera. For the most part, hung on, thank God, to their heritage in New Jersey, and thank God they did. And they continue to be big powerhouses. But we lost our way in the startup community. Tim, I think you'd agree with that. We just didn't have the rhythm that we had back in the day when Bell Labs was in its heyday 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. And we committed from moment one, the mayor committed from his moment one, that we were going to turn that narrative around. And there is no better example of that becoming a reality than HAX. This hard tech hub is going to be transformative. It already is. I had counted, Duncan, at least 40 companies that you're nurturing so far. My eye had hit Solano. There aren't many companies that go from Austria to Newark. That's not a daily event. And that's one that caught my eye, transforming literally the way industrial sewing is taking place in a sustainable manner and in a way that we could do it onshoring and not giving up that element of manufacturing largely to Asia. Purely, which is another one that caught my eye, which is sustainable extraction of lithium. The need for lithium is going up, not down, and be able to do that sustainably is a big deal. I believe that had a Princeton University nexus to it. And I know you've worked closely as you nurture these companies with Princeton, with NJIT, with Rutgers, and with other institutions of higher ed. So there's a lot to be excited about today. This is a play, if I may say it this way, this is a play that we have run and we will continue to run. So Tim and Kathleen stepped up and put $25 million to work in this as a full partner with SOSV. And again, I can't say enough good things about Sean. In fact, he and Tim and I were on yesterday talking about the huge opportunity that is before us as a nation, and I think as a state and city, in biomanufacturing, which is something that's gotten a lot of attention, including at the White House. We were on the West Coast a couple of weeks ago, and we saw IndieBio, another SOSV entity out in San Francisco. We had a very productive trip to California, largely generative AI in the Bay Area, and then film and television in greater Los Angeles. And so I mentioned that this is a play that we're going to run, we'll continue to run. We're going to have a big fintech announcement in a couple of weeks. In fact, maybe next week as I think about it. We announced, you probably saw in December with Princeton, a big incubator, similar hub on generative AI. It is a play, we're doing this at the Helix, which is a life sciences angle in New Brunswick. As I say, this is a play we have run and will continue to run, and there's no better example of how transformative it can be than HAX. So Duncan, to you and your colleagues, we can't thank you enough. We wear your presence here, I know the mayor agrees with me, as a badge of honor. And the good news is this is tangible. You can touch it. You've got your operation here, but without question, the best big booming days are still in the future. We're not putting a bow around something that's taken place. This is a start, and it's the start of something really, really big. Am I introducing the mayor, or are you coming back up, Naomi?
I'll come back up.
You're going to come back up? Thank you all.
Thank you so very much, Governor Murphy. We are all deeply grateful for your support here at HAX. I would also like to quickly acknowledge Senator Ruiz and Assemblywoman Marin.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Next, I would like to welcome Mayor Baraka to the stage.
She's doing a great job. West Ward. West Ward, Newark in the house. How you doing, Senator, Assemblywoman? How you doing? Just want to first thank Governor Murphy, the EDA, for having the sense to get with SOSV and bring HAX here to the city of Newark. I want to thank Susan and Duncan for giving me the tour. I had the opportunity to see firsthand some of the companies that are here, extracting the lithium, doing something with copper, trying to figure out how to store alternative energy. And the company you talked about from Austria actually hooked up with a Newark manufacturer, Union Wear, over in the North Ward, right? So that's amazing to me. So we're actually a long, long way from Seth Boyden and patent leather. And when we had 200 patent leather plants here in the city of Newark, Thomas Edison and the ticker tape machine or whatever that was, and celluloid for cameras. So we actually have a history of manufacturing and industry here in the city of Newark. From the very beginning, from the very onstart, people came here for manufacturing, for industry, for jobs next to the port, one of the second largest seaport in this nation, arguably the first largest seaport in the nation, which becomes incredibly important as we're having these international supply chain issues. Newark Seaport becomes incredibly important for all of us. And being able to bring all of these things in-house so we don't have to worry about Southeast Asia or wars happening all over the world. We can actually have manufacturing here in New Jersey, but more importantly, in Newark. So I'm glad you chose New Jersey, but I'm even more happy that you chose Newark. Yeah. Right? So I think we're happy that EDA decided to invest a significant amount of money in this venture. But more importantly, I think the things that we offer are a lot more material and tangible, even more so than even the money. We have the president of NJIT here with us today, and the incredible talent that he churns out every single day at NJIT. Those students have jobs before they even graduate from the university. That kind of talent right down the street is incredibly important. Our transportation infrastructure is incredibly important to the work that's happening here. I think that the company HAX choosing this area creates all kinds of opportunities for us up and down this corridor in tech and hard tech and soft tech at the same time. So I'm excited about it. I know most of us, if you go talk to those folks, you need a physics degree, a chemistry degree, and a few other degrees to kind of understand what's happening there. But one thing you will know is things are being made right here in the city of Newark, and we get to say when it blows up and things happen, figuratively blow up. We don't want anything to blow up in there. When things happen, that it started up right here in the city of Newark. So I'm excited about that. Thank you for choosing Newark, for being a partner with us, and we consider you family. All you need now is a key and one of the zip codes right here in the city of Newark, so you can be a part of us completely. God bless you. Godspeed.
Thank you, Mayor Baraka. Speaking as both a member of the HAX team and a proud citizen of Newark, we are so proud to be a new and thriving part of this great city. Next, I would like to ask Tim Sullivan, the CEO of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, to come to the stage.
Thank you so much. I did not get the memo on cool sneakers. Here representing the stiffs. Role I was born to play. Thank you, Governor. That was a little loud, Budget Chairwoman. It's a little too enthusiastic of making fun of me. Anyways, it's really great to be here. I think the Governor and the Mayor put it so well. So I just want to add a few thank yous and a bit of a story of how this came to be. This, as the Governor said, I think picks up all the themes that he has led us to be focused on across the administration, but particularly within the EDA since his time in office: innovation, clean energy, reshoring and manufacturing, all that. I'll come back to that in a moment. But I think it represents a real strategy to not just compete, but win. I remember that this all comes together. I got a phone call from Kathleen Coviello, who's one of the great people in the world and who's responsible for all of our efforts around innovation and entrepreneurship at the EDA. And when she heard the governor was going to be governor and was focused on what he was focused on, it was a good day at the office for Kathleen. Kathleen calls me up, and this is during the pandemic. This is in the days of, we were sort of in the vaccine moment, but we were still not sure what the world was going to look like. And Kathleen called up and said, "You know SOSV and Sean O'Sullivan?" I said, "I know of them." I said, "They're going to go big. There's going to be a big competition, and we got to get ready to play to win." I said, "Okay, got it." Called up the governor, called up Evan Weiss at the time, a few other folks, George and Joe Kelly and a few other folks, and said we got to play to win. And the next phone call I made was a cold call to Sean O'Sullivan. I didn't text first saying, "Hey, it's Tim, I'm going to give you a buzz." I didn't send him an email. I didn't have a letter sent. Rang him up. Said, "Sean, my name's Tim Sullivan. I've been directed by Governor Murphy to call you and tell you that we hear there's a competition on. New Jersey intends to play and play to win, and failure's not an option here. We're going to win this thing." And he said, "Okay, there will be a process, so you should fill out all the right forms and make sure your proposal is good. But I appreciate the, I'm paraphrasing here, but I appreciate the Jersey moxie that comes with declaring victory before the game started." But we knew this was the big one. This was a huge opportunity for New Jersey and for Newark. And the reason this becomes a Newark opportunity, one, knowing the mayor's leadership and support, but I got a phone call a couple days later from Aisha Glover, who, in addition to having a permanent job supporting the mayor's agenda around economic development, is a member of the EDA board. And she said, "I heard about this HAX thing. It's got to be Newark. New Jersey's great, but it's got to be Newark." And she made the case and said, "The mayor's going to love this." She said, "The city's going to support it like crazy." And we said, "Huh." And George Santos is one of the Essex County sleeper agents inside the EDA, along with Ty Cooper, who supports all things Newark and Essex County. Said, "Yeah, it's a good idea. She's right." And so we went to work with some funding that was provided in the state budget. Thank you, Budget Chairwoman. That continues to be funded in the budget. Thank you, hopefully, for this year as well, to continue these kinds of programs. And we put our best foot forward, and we won that national competition, that global competition that the governor mentioned. So I want to say thank you to our team, Kathleen principally, but Ron McKayla, Clark Smith, George Santos, Ty Cooper in absentia, Choose New Jersey. Jose was running the show at the time and was also a huge supporter, and Wes and his colleagues have been great partners in cementing this over the years. But again, just want to really hit a couple themes real quick, I promise, that this brings together. One, since the governor's earliest days in office, and I think back to candidate Murphy, talked about not just wanting to be number one in innovation and reclaim that legacy of innovation and entrepreneurship, but we want to be the most diverse and inclusive entrepreneurship ecosystem in America. And that's a lot easier said than done, but how do you do it? You invest in programs like the Black and Latino Seed Fund that the governor funded 2 budgets in a row. Thank you again, Budget Chairwoman. You do it with things like the Innovation Fellows Program, which is sponsoring and funding 30 founders, primarily women and people of color. The Majority Leader is the principal funder and sponsor of that in the legislature. Thank you, Majority Leader. And you do it by making a big bet like HAX in Newark, one of America's great cities, one of New Jersey's great cities, but that is home to people from all over the world and represents diversity in all its many forms. We're going to do this here. And it's going to mean that we're going to create jobs for young people in Newark and their families, and put food on the table for people in Newark and in New Jersey, and live those values of diversity and inclusion in what we do here. The other is, this is a really long-term bet. And the dividends of what we're seeing, we've heard about some of the cool companies, and I hope they all make it and turn into the next household name and multi-billion-dollar company. I hope they all do. Duncan, they all will, right? Every single, guaranteed. That was in the contract. It was guarantees. I think. Go check. Kathleen negotiated hard. But we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen here. But we know, as the mayor said, what happens here is going to reverberate around the world. And we're going to have lots of success stories, not just today and tomorrow and this year and next year, but 5, 10, 25 years into the future. And so when the governor talks about building our innovative capacity and our capacity to spawn the next generation of great companies, it's engines of innovation like HAX that are going to drive the outsized growth that we want to see and need to see from our innovation economy. So this is a really big deal. The third point I'll mention really briefly, I know Kate Klinger's here, who used to lead the charge on the governor's clean energy agenda before Evan stole her, which is disappointing, but probably good for them. We are counting on innovation to solve things like the clean energy puzzle. We know what we need to do. Exactly how we're going to do it, no one really is positive. So innovation and entrepreneurship and research and development at places like HAX and places like this, that's how we're going to get home on not just the governor's clean energy goals and agenda, but the world's needs around clean energy. And so this is a really important investment that the state's made, that the governor's made, that the mayor's been a great partner in driving on lots of different things at once. No pressure, but there's a lot riding on this. There's a tremendous amount of opportunity and upside here. We're committed to being supportive every step of the way, as we have been, but we're really excited. It's great to be here. I remember when Kathleen and George and Ty and others of us, Evan, Jose, were touring the space when it was raw back when we were pitching this, and I didn't think it was going to look like this. So congratulations, well done. This is a great big day for New Jersey and for Newark. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. The HAX team is incredibly grateful to you and your NJEDA colleagues, which have now become family, for bringing about this alliance with the state of New Jersey. Now we have one more very important speaker, but sadly this one could not be here in person, so we have a brief message we will play on the monitors. Here is Sean O'Sullivan, another proud resident of New Jersey and also founder of SOSV and the managing general partner of the firm. Over to you, Sean.
Hello, everyone. I am so pleased that the HAX grand opening is finally here, and you are there to mark that occasion in person. Unfortunately, responsibilities to my alma mater, RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, required that I be in New York, in Troy, New York today. Governor Murphy, Mayor Baraka, and Tim Sullivan, we are so proud that you were able to join us. Thank you for your presence here today and for your remarks and support. You know, my wife's family was from Newark. My brothers-in-law went to St. Benedict's down the street, and Newark has had a great role to play in the success of America in the past and in the America of the future. I'm a resident of New Jersey, and I have to say, I love it here. It's a great state, and the origin of so many industries and so much innovation in the United States and the world, from manufacturing to materials, from pharmaceuticals to telecommunications. It means a great deal to the HAX team and founders working here as we look to lead the birth of the decarbonization of industries and the reinvention of the means of production of goods, of energy, and of our agricultural and food systems. SOSV's HAX has previously helped in the creation of hundreds of startups that have raised billions of dollars in helping to define the physical world. We're hoping to do much more of this work from our new global headquarters here in New Jersey. As I'm sure Duncan has already noted, the state of New Jersey showed tremendous foresight when it decided to support the establishment of the HAX headquarters in Newark. It is the perfect location for HAX for so many reasons, not the least because SOSV, with NJEDA's backing, has been able to build an incredibly well-equipped and staffed facility that is attracting the deep tech founders we want to back. These founders hail from all over the country and the world, and from their perch here in Newark, they have a great opportunity to take in all the immense possibilities and resources New Jersey has to offer, from ample room to put down roots in New Jersey, to leveraging the great depth of human talent available at the great universities, research institutions, and corporations from across New Jersey and the region. The main aim of the SOSV HAX NJEDA partnership is to provide a launching pad for these new great startups to address the challenges of climate and health, helping to heal the planet and provide for better human health. These new technologies will bring jobs to New Jersey and both hope and solutions to problems the world urgently needs to solve. We are already well on the way to accomplishing that, and we are very proud and blessed to do that here in Newark. Thank you once again for attending our grand opening today. Now, let's move on to the ribbon cutting. Back to you, Naomi.
Thank you so very much, Sean. Now that completes our round of speakers for today. Thank you all for your support in HAX and its mission to advance human and planetary health, as well as bring jobs and technology investment to Newark and New Jersey. Now it's time for the ribbon cutting. Could the following people please join us on stage? Governor Murphy, Mayor Baraka, Tim Sullivan, Kathleen Covello, Duncan Turner, Susan Schofer, G. Kuh, and Andy Golick.